Hello everybody, my name is Agnieszka and I'm a teacher of English, and I'm here to tell you about the difference between game-based learning and gamification. I'm sure a lot of you use games in the classroom to achieve educational goals. Your students probably play board games, they use online games, most of them probably play console games, and even you probably play games on your smartphones. If you can make a good use of those games in the classroom, if you introduce games to help students understand ideas, if your students make games, for example, as part of the project, if you use motives from games that your students play to teach them something, this is game-based learning. But gamification is something different. Gamification is a phenomenon which occurs when you don't play games. Basically, you do things which are sometimes boring, you sometimes don't like doing them, or they are repetitive. Gamification happens when you use game techniques, game elements, game mechanics to make those things more enjoyable and to motivate you or your students to do them. So, whenever you take your course, you divide them into parts which can be called levels. Whenever you give your students challenges, whenever your students can score points and get badges for achievements in this process, this is gamification. This is part of gamification that you use in the classroom. Whenever your students make choices between different types of tasks that you give them, if you give them autonomy, if they can express themselves more freely in the classroom. For example, they create their avatars, and the avatars represent them in the process. This is also one phenomenon, one example of gamification element. What I use in my classroom very often are, for example, timers, as time is one of the mechanics in gamification. I often use random name picker because the randomness in the class makes my students more engaged. They are interested who will get picked. That's why random name picker are a great idea. And I often use challenges for my students which are surprising, which are not planned, because randomness creates this feeling of interest, of uncertainty, and makes students more involved. I really recommend ready-made platforms, ready-made tools online which are free, which will help you to introduce gamification elements in the class. And when you have practiced them and when you have found them useful and effective, you can make a lot of more effort to introduce gamification to bigger projects, to gamify your class, to gamify a semester, or even to gamify the whole subject. But remember, it's always a process. The success depends on who you are gamifying, what you are gamifying, what your students need, what they are like, and what ticks. That is what makes them eager to do something, what makes them more involved, more motivated to study. I wish you luck with gamification, and don't forget, the most important elements in gamification are 3F, 3F, friends, fun, and feedback. That is, you have to do this with your friends. They have to be involved in social activities. There has to be an element of fun, and the feedback has to be immediate. Have fun.